So, what's the makeup of the team for Thursday night?
We don't know that as yet. We'll have our match committee discussion this afternoon. The boys had the weekend off after our intra-club on Friday, and we'll look to finalise a squad, I dare say, later this evening, and with the aim of having our captain's run on Wednesday in prep for Thursday's game. So there's a number of guys in the mix who've had some strong pre-seasons, so it should be a somewhat lengthy discussion, I'd imagine.
How important is it to have your Shoeys, your Kelly, Gaff all run around at the same time in a game like this in particular?
Yeah, it is important. It's something from a midfield point of view we've tried to focus on throughout the pre-season, is getting some continuity and chemistry with the group. Obviously with Tim coming into the mix now, it's important that he gets some connection with the rest of the midfielders, so and also the forward line too if he spends time there. So it's been good for Tim in that space. He's managed to have a lot of minutes with fellow mids, so hopefully that holds us in good stead come game time now.
Is it also about connection with the ruck? So
Definitely.
like working out where Nick likes to hit?
Yep.
Well, he pretty much likes to hit it everywhere. But
yeah, it definitely is. I mean, that's a big part of your ruck mid connection, is your ability to understand what your ruckman likes and when they're in certain positions where they want to hit it. So look, our mids are constantly working at that with all of our ruckmen, whether it be Nick, whether it be Nathan Vardy, Bailey Williams or Tom Hickey. So it's a matter of working out, everyone's got their different strengths and how best you can connect with them.
So for a player like Tim, I guess, coming in fresh, how much more work would he do over a pre-season than, say, a Shuey who's already got that chemistry?
Depending on how much time they spend on the track, but if they're on the track for similar amounts, they'd end up getting a similar amount in throughout pre-season. So, as I said, a number of our guys, Tim in particular, has had a uninterrupted pre-season, so that's meant that he's been able to spend a large number of minutes connecting with midfielders and our ruckman, which has been important. So hopefully that holds us in good stead moving forward.
How's the Gov tracking? Look like he was sort of moving okay out there, but he's had that Achilles issue. Is he likely to play at all during the...
So yeah, Gov's still building at the moment, so he's integrating into main training, and I guess over the next couple of weeks will tell us how he progresses and whether he's likely to get some game time in before round one. So I think we'll have a medical update on that later in the day, if not later in the week.
Yeah. Any other kind of concerns, injury concerns heading into round one?
Not that we're aware of out of the game on Friday, intra-club. So the pleasing thing was we managed to get 4 quarters of solid footy into our playing group, and it looks like the boys have pulled up pretty well.
Can you play Jermaine Jones on Thursday?
I believe we can, yes.
Is that the plan? Are you going to?
Well, as I said, we've got discussions later today whether Jermaine gets a look in, but he is with us for a few weeks, so it would be a great opportunity to have a look at all players on your list. We have to weigh up which ones are most in need of being looked at and getting that opportunity, I suppose.
So what's the protocol you have to follow? You have to get permission from the AFL to play him, given that he's not on your list yet?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on the protocol, but I presume there would be some permission from the AFL at some point, as you need permission for them to train with you in the first place. So,
JK and Darling, do they both play this week? Is Darling ready to go with the cheek?
Jack won't be playing this week. He's still building into training. He was out there today with the boys. It's a matter of just getting the contact side of training into him over the next, hopefully, couple of weeks. And all going well, we'd like to see Jack get a game in Marsh too if all goes to plan.
What about JK?
JK should be available this week, yep.
Nathan, as midfield coach, what's the work like for you when you do secure Tim? He comes in and you start looking at how your midfield's going to look. How much work did you put in, and Adam as well, to make sure you make that transition really work for you as a club?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. It is very exciting for us as a club. We certainly do think that Tim will add value to our playing group, but it is important to try and understand where the balance lies within our midfield and within the rest of our team. So there's been certainly some discussions around, obviously with Tim, but also with at a match committee level about how that best works within our system and how we want to play those players we see fitting into the group. So it has been a lot of planning, but hopefully we found the right mix. And as I spoke about that chemistry before, that's probably the most important thing, is that our guys learn the tools of the trade and the tricks of each other, so that come game day they've got each other's backs and know what to expect.
Adam sort of flagged wing time for Brander, and he played a little bit there, and you matched him last week. Is that where we can expect to see him on Thursday?
Yeah, we've seen some great development from Jared throughout pre-season. Look, he's deserved of an opportunity in the next couple of weeks. So whether that be in the wing or forward, he's got some versatility to his game. But he did spend some time on the wing in our intra-club and show some pleasing signs. So we'll just have to wait and see what that looks like for him moving forward. But we've been pleased with how he's progressed over the summer.
You won't have Yo this week. Could we realistically think by round one that maybe your full midfield won't play together? If Yo plays the state game this week, they could possibly play all together in a couple of weeks' time.
Yep.
Maybe not, depending on how much game time you're thinking.
Yeah, I guess Marsh 2 is a different scenario for us, so we'll just have to wait and see I guess how we pull up out of this week's game against the Bombers. And then the lineup against Freo, I guess time will tell what that looks like for us, but it would be great to get a full complement in there and see that mix working together before round one. But that's out of our control at the moment. We've just got to wait and see what happens.
Such a star, obviously, as a midfielder, Elliot, but incredibly versatile as well. Given all the midfielders that you've now got with Tim coming in, would you look to do anything different with him this season?
Yeah, I guess the modern day player needs to have versatility as a part of his game, and I guess if you look across all midfields, and I guess ours is no different, that players are required to play different roles, whether it be forward or back. Some players are able to do both, as you mentioned with Elliot. So we've tried to work at adding strings to their bows throughout pre-season, so that if they are called upon in a game to be able to play in another position, that they can competently do that.
Bailey Williams looked good up again. He took on Nick early on in the game on Friday. Where do you see him at? Is he a realistic chance of being the backup ruck to Nick come round one?
Yeah, Bailey's had a really pleasing summer. For a young guy to complete pretty much the full pre-season has been really pleasing, and to be up against Nick for the vast majority of pre-season as well has been really great for his development. And with interrupted pre-seasons to Nathan Vardy and Tom Hickey at different stages has meant that he's had to shoulder a bit of that load. So, as I said, for his development, it's been fantastic, and he's certainly put his hand up to be in the mix this week to play in the ruck at some stage.
What about Oscar Allen? How's he tracking still away from the main group?
Yeah, Oscar's still building, so he's another one that we can add to that second ruck mix that I just spoke about. So he's still progressing, and he's an important part of our playing squad, as you saw last year with the number of roles that he was able to play. So hopefully he can keep building over the next couple of weeks, and just have to wait and see with the medical report what that looks like for his playing minutes moving forward.
Given Gov's touch and go for round one, and Oscar looks like he's at least a week back from him, is Oscar probably up against it a bit to be ready for round one?
I can't answer that with full confidence at the moment. As I said, he's still building, and there's still a fair chunk of time before round one, and a lot of game time to go in to our players before round one. So I know that he's building with his training program, and hopefully the next couple of weeks some game minutes present itself for him. But as I said, there's a number of things he has to tick off on before then.
Apart from Tim and the possibility that you'll try Jermaine Jones, any other young players we might see on Thursday night based on what you've seen from them pre-season?
I'm not going to go ahead and name names yet. We're still going through selection this afternoon, but if you've kept a keen eye on our training throughout pre-season, you see a number of our young guys have had uninterrupted pre-seasons, which holds them in good stead for strong years, whether it be at AFL level or waffle level. So I dare say there might be one or two that get an opportunity, hopefully this weekend, if not the weekend after.
You were cautious with Nick's minutes last year for obvious reasons. Can he now go 80% of game time in the ruck, which does change your thinking maybe for that second ruck role?
Yeah, look, with Nick, I think it's been publicly spoken about. His the way we're going to manage him moving forward is with limited game time. So I guess a bit of what you saw last year is what you'll get again from Nick. But his presence when he comes into the ruck and plays on ball for us is huge. So the more that we can get him out there and playing in the ruck is obviously our number one priority. There are rotations that go on in a game, so there may be times where he needs to play in other positions, but particularly forward. But at this stage, we'll try and maximise his time in the ruck if his game time is limited.
So is that purely because you think the shorter time is you're getting maximum out?
Yeah, it is a bit of that, bit of his load management and a bit of his athletic profile as well.
Is Simo going to game day coach?
Yeah, Simo, as far as I know, yeah, he'll coach.
You're not the main man this week.
No, I'm not.
Nathan, how much of a say do you and the other assistants get in that this spot that you've got up for grabs between Brady Gray, Nick Reid, Jermaine Jones? Any say at all, or is it mismanagement?
It's not a decision that assistant coaches are involved in. We certainly do give some feedback from time to time when asked, but it's not. We're not at the decision-making table when it comes to pulling that trigger.